Are we good? Are we live? Well, that's good. Hold on, I need to get one vital piece of equipment. Alright, everyone. Yo, peoples. Kyushu92 here to, we got 10 minutes before the War Table stream for Marvel's Avengers begins, and we actually see some brand new gameplay of the game. Now, mind you, sorry, I'm looking at the playback and it's kind of skipping a little bit. Let me see if I can fix that as best I can. This thing doesn't want to agree with me. Sorry. But hey, Psycho, what's going on? It's good to see you. What I got. If this stream does not do good, keyframe frequency. What the heck? Alright, it's skipping. I gotta fix this. Hold on. It was working just fine earlier. Now it doesn't. And now it wants to act like I ain't do nothing before. Okay. Are we good now? Are we good? Is everything moving correctly now? I had to dial back some settings, but everything is moving smoothly. Thank God we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're good. We're good. Everything is still fine. I'm not touching those settings again. I'm not touching those settings ever again. Sorry, everyone who was tuning in, if it was getting all choppy and whatnot. But I fixed it, so it's all good now. So, yo, peoples, once again, let me just start off from the bat here and come at you guys correctly. This is going to be my reaction to the Marvel Avengers War Table stream. And mind you, there's not a lot of hype for this game. Like, as far as the marketing is concerned and everything else. Sorry, I was looking at the playback. I was making sure everything was fine. But there's not a lot of hype for this game, but I'm really hopeful that it's good and what we get is good as well. So we're down to a couple of seconds. Okay, it's still behaving out of sync a little bit.
If I could instill rules, the proper boundaries, I could harness the raw power of that beast. A few months later, while hunting, the adolescent cub turned on me. We're fixing the damage the Avengers did all those years ago. Inhumans are sick. Unlimited power, that's dangerous. It's lethal. You are lucky to be alive. Come on, Kamala. Let AIM help you.
I'll take my chances.
Okay, I'm looking at the playback. I'm just making sure everything's moving smoothly.
Couldn't Mr. Stark help us with this?
Hi, I'm sorry. Who are you?
But sorry about the frame rate drops and everything just being all bad. The connection's been mad wonky. I'm sorry about that.
Completely lost your senses.
Where were you while the world went to hell?
Also, can you guys hear? Hold on.
All of ours. You really think the world is better without us? Yes. See, it's always been your problem. Running from who you are, what you are. I am warning you.
This is exactly what Tarleton wants!
You struggle against the unstoppable tide of progress, Avengers. Power cannot be controlled. It has to be destroyed. I will rid the Earth of superpowers. Even if it has to end with me.
It's just got a whole lot weirder.
What
What's up, Marvel fans? My name's Casey Lynch, and I'm editorial director at Crystal
this
Dynamics.
isn't good enough.
Marvel's Avengers War Table is your direct source for all things Marvel's Avengers. We've got a great show lined up with new trailers, new details on one of our main villains, MODOK, and advanced idea mechanics. And we'll take a first look at co-op and war zones. If you've ever thought, what is this game? Or how does it work? Then this is the show for you. Let's get into it, starting with a story trailer. In the aftermath of A-Day, everything changed.
You so-called heroes transformed San Francisco into an infectious, gas-filled quarantine zone. You unleashed diseased, powerful beings that wreak havoc throughout our nation. So I ask you again, Dr. Banner, do the Avengers pose a danger to society?
Yes.
I can promise you this. I will use this second chance to make you
Controllable and cannot be trusted. His deranged obsession drives him to become MODOK, mental organism designed only for killing. When choosing a villain, we knew we needed someone who had the muscle and mental capacity to become an Avengers-level threat. We also wanted a new face for modern Avengers fans. Big face. But comic
good
fans
now?
know MODOK is anything but new. His origin in Marvel lore dates back more than 50 years to October of 1967 in Tales of Suspense. Now, with AIM's drive to manipulate public fear and his ability to control machines with his mind, Tarleton and AIM are the most sophisticated threat the Avengers have ever faced. But a teenage fangirl named Kamala Khan doesn't trust AIM. In fact, she's convinced that AIM is experimenting
I'm
on
trying my
fellow
best to get
humans
this
under
thing
the
to run
guise of
smoothly,
finding
but
a
nothing is
cure.
working.
And she believes George Tarleton was behind the plot to discredit the Avengers, and she has proof. As you pick up the trail of the long-disbanded Avengers, you'll advance the story of the single-player campaign, unlocking more and more hero-specific missions. We know you've been asking for new gameplay that's not from A-Day. We hear you. So here's a playthrough of part of a new Thor hero mission called Once
Are you kidding?
an
It's
Avenger.
still skipping. Is it still skipping? Kind of getting tired of this. I'm trying to make sure everything's working fine.
We're here live at the AIM experience in Manhattan, witnessing the return of the Avengers, but they appear to be attacking the city. Keep rolling, keep rolling. Is it any coincidence that this attack comes on the very day that AIM is supposed to unveil their promising new Adaptoid program? Oh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You should know, I'm not in the best of moods!
Wait, is that Thor?
Holy crap, Thor! Where the hell did you come from?
I was serving the commoners when it started raining bolts of metal from the skies.
It's unbelievably good to see you.
A bit dramatic, don't you think?
It doesn't matter. He's here now.
So, the false god returns. Why? You did what you were supposed to do, Thor. You gave up your power. You should have stayed forgotten.
Never, when mortals are at peril. Where do you hide, Doctor? Can you not face me?
Look around. I'm everywhere.
What are these things? They're drilling into the deck.
Is my thing not stable enough to run it in full screen now? Even though I've never had that problem before?
like old times.
Aim dropships inbound.
I see them.
Focus on those mechs.
This might be the best I can get it at without it, you know, slowing down for some odd reason.
On my way. Hulk, you got this?
Dare I ask who the child is?
We'll explain later. Don't worry, she's up to it.
Chimera's still losing altitude. Thor, can you hold it up with wind?
Tear the ship apart.
Alright, so this is gameplay, but I was kind of hoping that we would see a little bit of a preview of the UI as well.
You killed Captain America, Thor. Who else will fall before your hammer?
Silence!
In this AIM experience story.
Not on my watch. The Chimera can't go down. Not again.
Alright, let me see if I can go full screen again. Nope, still messing up.
Spotted some drones heading for the command deck.
Got my hands full, kid.
I'm on them.
Nice. Security subsystems just came back online. It's working.
Can you enable lockdown?
Already working on it.
One last card to play, Avengers.
I can handle the large one myself.
You don't have to. That's the whole point.
See?
Guys, the Chimera can't take much more of this.
They did a lot of damage down in the engine room.
Tarleton, do not do this!
You've given me no choice. You'll find this shield familiar, Stark.
How original. You gonna steal my haircut next?
The damage has already been done, Avengers.
Open the pipe rock!
Kamala, Tony,
We're trying to restart the engines, but there's not enough power.
we're out of time, people. Brace for impact.
Hey, God of Thunder.
Stay behind me.
Now, bring it. Keep going, it's working.
Pull up!
Once an Avenger is a great example of a hero mission, a single-player campaign experience focusing on a specific playable character. Hero missions give us a
I
chance
wonder,
to tell
is it
more of
linked
each
to the
hero's
size
story
that I
and
have
showcase
my
the variety and
face?
depth of our hero
I
designs.
might need to shrink that.
Let's take a quick look at how Thor plays. With the game's combat systems, players can string together combos of heavy and light attacks, or hold for signature attacks. Combat versatility is one of Thor's strengths, from making use of Mjolnir to pin enemies from a distance, or bringing the sky down on his foes. In addition to core combat moves, the God of Thunder has a wide variety of skills to unlock that give him access
Might be
to
behaving this way
classic
because
moves.
my
This is one of our favorites.
my
manual
image size is so
targeting.
big.
We largely drew our influence from writer Jason Aaron's run on the Mighty Thor comic. Manual targeting allows you to quickly mark
Wow,
your
all I
enemies
did
for
was just
bullseyes with
increase it just a
Mjolnir, and
couple,
one by one, you can mark them and knock them
just 2
down as
pixel
Mjolnir comes
sizes,
back
and
to
it
you.
went like this.
Follow that up with a powerful ground pound, and you've got a mighty combo.
Now it's so much smoother.
Manual targeting
Wow.
is a great range
I am
attack,
so
but
sorry.
if up close and personal is more your style, go with the hammer spin or Mjolnir Cyclone. Heroes have 3 special heroic moves: Assault, Ultimate, and Support. When designing our heroics, we started with the signature moves from the comics and movies that we've always wanted to play. The Assault heroic charges the fastest, and in some cases, you can store multiple charges to use strategically as a part of your combos. You can perform these after charging your heroic meters with normal attacks. For instance, Natasha's Assault heroic is Widow's Bite, which is an electroshock projectile move you might recognize. You can see Nat using it right here. Each hero also has a unique support heroic that's designed to enhance co-op and team play. For example, Thor's support, Warrior's Fury, lets him channel the power of the gods to supercharge his Odin force and grants a period of invulnerability for nearby team members. You can see this in action when Iron Man gets the buff as he flies through Thor's support.
Okay, maybe I can't have it full screen. Hey CJ, what's going on? Apologies, Psycho, Cool K, Karma, and pretty much everyone else who was watching.
Thor's
With all this
channels the power of
graphical
the 9
errors
realms, and
popping
his
up.
Bifrost
Sorry about
taps
that.
into Muspelheim to bypass unbreakable shields, allowing Thor to use the power of the Bifrost Bridge to do maximum damage. We know everyone plays differently, so we have melee, ranged, aerial, and ground combat skills to tailor your hero to your playstyle.
Now, we just need to
As your
find
heroes
out
earn experience, they
longevity
gain
as
access
far
to
as
new
the game is
skills.
concerned.
Skill points allow you to unlock new moves, combos, and even new versions of attacks. As you build up your heroes, you begin to see how unlocking and mastering the separate core skills offers a ton of depth.
before
and
have the
variety
God or
on its
Odin
own
Force
for
Blast
every
in this
hero.
game. We'll have to see.
And that's before gear, perks, artifacts, and any kind of later game progression. So why is all of this important? Because it means your Thor will play differently than my Thor.
How is all this going to work? Like, us getting gear pieces? This isn't going to be the type of game where it introduces time savers, is it?
We've previously talked about the different rarities and how perks will give you powerful modifiers for even more customization. Some perks apply special damage like plasma or gamma, or cause status effects like shrink, which will shrink enemies and reduce damage and defense.
Shrinking people?
You can see Iron Man using gamma gear in this shot, and eagle-eyed fans probably noticed his laser sweep was green instead of red. Nope, that wasn't a bug. When you have gamma gear equipped, it grants a bonus damage modifier and changes the emissive color of your attack.
Interesting.
And voila, green lasers. We know that if you look good, you'll play good. The Crystal team has really enjoyed creating all new outfits for these heroes and drawing from Marvel's 80-year history to bring so many classic outfits to the game.
All right, can we kind of work on
Hulk's
look a little bit? Because one of his skins makes him look like he had like a little bit of a
them over the course
beer
of the
gut a
story
little bit.
campaign by completing missions and deciphering patterns. There's Iron Man's suit from the 2014 Original Sin storyline, or Donald Blake, which is a nod to an alias of Thor's who first appeared in 1962's Journey into Mystery issue 83. or Tony's Stark Tech outfit that was inspired by the Bleeding Edge armor that first appeared in Invincible Iron Man number 25 in 2010. While there are a ton of outfits you'll earn just by playing, some will require completing iconic mission chains to earn each hero's iconic outfit. And some outfits will only
hopefully
be
at least 20 plus hours of actual gameplay content, 30, 40 hours at best.
And let out your inner Hulk with the right emote. I don't think that's canon. Those are just some of the ways you'll be able to build and spec out your heroes.
So you can have like a whole bunch of nameplates, you can have emotes and everything. That's fine and everything, but I just want to see,
that customization is
like,
especially fun.
give me a reason of why I should play this game more than once.
And war zones.
All right, here we go. Co-op and war zones. Please explain what this is, because a lot of us who is keeping an eye on this game really want to know, is this game worth it? And this stream has really got to show that off. Now, of course, this stream that I've been doing, it really hasn't been doing the war table stream justice because of all the fluctations and skipping and all that was going on. So my apologies for not making that enjoyable for all of you. But I'm gonna pay attention to this because they really need to, like, sure you can show us stuff all day, but at least explain what like co-op and war zones is gonna be like and how much time we're gonna have to invest into it and whether it's gonna be worth our time. You know what just dawned on me? The flying for Iron Man is kind of reminiscent of that of Anthem, as far as like how you fly around and like the stance you take. Just let me jump around a whole environment as Hulk. Like, everyone is using their unique abilities to run around and everything, but just let me. I want to play as Hulk and I see Iron Man on one side and I'm Hulk and I'm just jumping and keeping up with him. I just want to see that.
If I don't stop them, it's just one more thing to regret on my deathbed. Times like this, when it all seems hopeless, that's when we got to stand strong.
Nick Fury got hair?
You want to see powers? Here we go.
Time for heroes. It's over.
You don't get to decide who lives or dies.
Hey! Where did this thing come from?
Hulkbuster.
So far, we've talked about the story, hero missions, and customization. Now, let's talk about war zones.
Yes, because apparently war zones are supposed to be the repeatable missions that you can play all the time.
War zones are missions which you can play with up to a total of 4 players or solo with an AI companion team made up of your unlocked and leveled heroes. Whether playing hero missions or war zones, you always make forward progress with your heroes. On your helicarrier, you'll use the war table to launch missions with a variety of objectives and challenges.
It'll be 4-player co-op, maybe even offline couch co-op.
Trailer, each mission is grounded in story. So whether you're in the campaign
we need
or
to
war
confirm
zones,
that.
you're always working
it'd be
together
great if you
to
could
stop,
play
aim,
it couch
and
co-op
rebuild
with
resistance.
people, or at least online
Get
co-op. I'm
missions
pretty
for
sure it's
Jarvis,
online
Maria Hill,
co-op.
Hank Pym, and more characters from
We
Marvel
still need to
history.
see if offline couch co-op is the actual thing
Once
that they'll
you pick
have
your
for the
mission,
game.
You'll board the Quinjet, where you can matchmake,
So
switch
given
heroes,
how this is going to
choose
be a
your
game where they're
loadout, and of
constantly
course,
updating it
pick
all
the
the
right look
time,
and
I feel like
attitude
this
for
is
the
going to
job.
be like an online live service game.
As you start playing missions across the globe, you'll realize AIM has entrenched themselves in cities and remote locations alike, all in the name of research. War zones range from wide open spaces designed for exploration and team traversal to dense interiors.
So
with a
I'm always
variety of
hyped whenever I
objective-based
see Hulk
challenges,
just jumping
boss
anywhere.
fights,
I mean,
and
it's the Hulk.
rewards.
Anyone can
Here's a
fly,
mission we saw in the
anyone can
co-op
move at
trailer
super speed, but you don't
called
see that
Titania
many
Titan,
heroes using
where we can
jumping
see
as a
some
way to
team
get
play.
around.
There's this
Except for
cool shot
All
of
Might
Iron Man, but you may
and
miss
Hulk.
Kamala and Hulk performing a team finisher on that poor guy back there. When you max out some larger enemies' stun meter, 2 heroes can come together to perform a team finisher, which gives you a chance to take them down much faster. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Now here's the
Living
thing,
hero life is all about
can
growth,
you have a
getting
full
stronger
squad
and
of the
better
same
equipped to play
characters,
smarter,
or does
and there are
everyone
plenty
have to
of
pick a
upgrades to
different
help you do
character?
just that. As you progress through the campaign, you'll also be rebuilding and upgrading the Chimera, your helicarrier, which is your own flying base.
What's up, Kyushu? Hey,
The
Crown Clown,
Resistance
what's going
is a
on? Who will
group
be
who
able to
have
play in
banded
story
together
mode?
in the 5
So
years since
far,
A-Day.
I know of
Some
Thor,
are inhuman and have
Captain
powers.
America,
Some
Kamala
are former
Khan,
SHIELD
Hulk,
agents who refuse
Iron
to
Man,
pledge
Black
allegiance to
Widow.
AIM, and some just want to help.
and those are the ones we know of so far.
We call it the anthill. Not my idea.
You'll join their cause
Also,
in the
apologies
field
if
by
you were
working
here early
directly with
on. The
factions
stream
like
was
the
not
Human
working to my
Alliance,
specifications,
the
so a
SHIELD
little bit of the
agents Dum Dum
story,
Dugan, Nick Fury,
trailer,
and
and some of
more.
the opening gameplay of Thor
Earning
was
faction reputation will give you
really
access to new
choppy. So
challenges,
if that comes out in post that way, I'm saying sorry for now.
new vendors, and more powerful items. There will always be new threats on the horizon, so you want to ensure your Avengers are ready for anything.
So we get all this different.
Telling us what you think. We're listening, and as fans ourselves, we're all working every day to make Marvel's Avengers worthy of your support. Please stick around after the show to ask questions and chat. On behalf of the whole Marvel's Avengers team, thank you for tuning in to the first Marvel's Avengers War Table. In the coming months, we'll talk about our first post-launch hero, our upcoming beta, and of course, our launch, when Marvel's Avengers arrives September 4th. I'm Casey Lynch, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, that's pretty much the end of it right there, but I kind of need to scale it back so you guys can see what happened beforehand, because of the way the stream was, it kind of made things really choppy, so I need to dial it back. That way we can talk about all the stuff that we've seen, and I can actually get a good amount of footage in for this stream, so apologies for everyone.
When I was young, I found an orphaned wolf cub in the forest behind our farm.
I would wager that the first post-launch hero would be Ant-Man. Didn't we see like a preview gameplay trailer for him?
A few months later, while hunting, the adolescent cub turned on me. We're fixing the damage the Avengers did all those years ago. Inhumans are sick. Unlimited power, that's dangerous. It's lethal. You are lucky to be alive. Come on, Kamala. Let AIM help you.
I'll take my chances. What if the Avengers were set up? I think you should see for yourself. Couldn't Mr. Stark help us with this?
Hi, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Kamala?
This better be good.
He totally locked Cap in the reactor room, and then he tried to jack the Chimera.
Son of a...
Have you all completely lost your senses?
So,
Where were you while the world went to
apparently,
This is our fault.
Captain America didn't just go down with the helicarrier. Apparently, someone locked him into that room to make sure he actually couldn't get out.
This is exactly what Tarleton wants!
You struggle against the unstoppable tide.
Was that Arnim Zola? That looked like Arnim Zola.
Power cannot be controlled. It has to be destroyed. I will rid the Earth of superpowers. Even if it has to end with me.
Alright.
This just got a whole lot weirder.
So, the main villain of the game is MODOK. So this ought to
What's up, Marvel fans? My name's
things a little
Casey
bit
Lynch,
interesting
and
as
I'm
well.
editorial director at Crystal Dynamics. Marvel's Avengers War Table is your direct source for all things Marvel's Avengers. We've got a great show lined up with new trailers, new details on one of our main villains, MODOK, and advanced idea mechanics. And we'll take a first look at co-op and war zones. If you've ever thought, what is this game? Or how does it work? Then this is the show for you.
After I do the stream, I gotta figure out why my internet is not stable, why it's not staying synced up, and why my OBS studios that I've been using, why they decided to act all wonky all of a sudden. So I got a list of things to do today.
Powerful beings that wreak havoc throughout our nation. So I ask you again, Dr. Banner, do the Avengers pose a danger to society?
Yes.
I can promise you this. I will use this second chance to make you safe. AIM will find a cure for the inhuman disease.
AIM will find a cure
As a
for
founding
the
member of
superhero
Tech Giant
disease.
Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM, George Tarleton dreamt of a world made better through science. But even as AIM promises a cure to end the inhuman infection, and the revolutionary Adaptoid Project offers a world protected by science, Tarleton, a victim of 8A himself, uses AIM's technological might and the public's fear of Inhumans to convince the world that the superpowered are uncontrollable and cannot be trusted. His deranged obsession drives him to become MODOK, mental organism designed only for killing. When choosing a villain, we knew we needed someone who had the muscle and mental capacity.
MODOK's chair got a really big upgrade, taking
we
some
also
cues from
wanted
Dr.
a new
Octopus,
face
I
for
see.
modern Avengers fans. Big face. But comic fans know MODOK is anything but new. His origin in Marvel lore dates back more than 50 years to October of 1967 in Tales of Suspense.
This was a reference to the
Now,
Terrigen
with AIM's
Mist Bomb
drive
and
to manipulate
Storm
public
from the
fear
comic.
and his ability to control machines with his mind, Tarleton and AIM are the most sophisticated threat the Avengers have ever faced. But a teenage fangirl named Kamala Khan doesn't trust AIM. In fact, she's convinced that AIM is experimenting on her fellow Inhumans under the guise of finding a cure. And she believes George Tarleton was behind the plot to discredit the Avengers. And she has proof. As you pick up the trail of the long-disbanded Avengers, you'll advance the story of the single-player campaign, unlocking more and more hero-specific missions. We know you've been asking for new gameplay that's not from A-Day. We hear you. So here's a playthrough of part of a new Thor hero mission called Once an Avenger.
Alright, hopefully this showcase of this gameplay is a lot smoother than it was earlier in this stream, so apologies if I'm repeating this again, but I just want to make sure it's clear for everyone watching this go around.
We're here live at the AIM experience in Manhattan, witnessing the return of the Avengers, but they appear to be attacking the city. Keep rolling, keep rolling.
I can see Captain Marvel being in this too. If you notice, and there's some screenshots out of Kamala Khan's room, and in many places in the room, she has multiple posters of Captain Marvel. So it kind of gives us our best look at what Captain Marvel could possibly look like in the game.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You should know, I'm not in the best of moods.
Wait, is that Thor?
Holy crap, Thor! Where the hell did you come from?
I was serving the commoners when it started raining bolts of metal from the skies.
It's unbelievably good to see you.
A bit dramatic, don't you think?
It doesn't matter. He's here now.
So the false god returns.
So some people may see this as like really cinematic with some of the way that they do certain things. All I can ask for this game is that the combat does not feel clunky and no one feels like a slog to just play at.
Can you not face me?
Look around. I'm everywhere.
Now here's what I'm kind of getting in my head already, and I kind of see this being something that may concern people a little bit later on. With the way the combat is and the way it kind of looks to me, I feel like higher difficulties could give us like bullet sponge like enemies that take forever just to beat up on, and you need to have a whole bunch of people just beating up on this one thing in order to do like really significant damage. Otherwise it's going to take you forever just to take down one boss. I can see that being a concern for some people, especially when it's a game where you have literally Thor and Hulk in the game, and it's taking you forever to, you know, like punch your way through different things. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting just from the combat, it looks like. Now, I'm not saying that it looks bad, but I'm just saying that from the look it's given me, it just seems like higher difficulties. It could just go through that original trope of being, you know, making the enemies tough for the sake of difficulty rather than it being like a challenge. Like, give the enemy 5 times the normal health on this higher difficulty, but no one's strength increases to compensate. That tends to be a bit of a problem with certain games, is the power scaling never really stays in sync with one another. If the enemies get stronger, then the heroes should be able to get stronger as well. It certainly seems like that could be a potential issue. That's just a minor thing that I'm noticing though. Graphics wise, it looks really good, and the fact that if you get this on PS4 and Xbox One, you'll be able to get it as like a free upgrade when if you get the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So whatever graphics we see here, whatever graphics we see in the PS4, it's gonna look even better on the PS5. But none of that matters unless the frame rate is consistent and the gameplay is good. I would rather take a consistent frame rate and very smooth gameplay over, you know, being able to see motherboards underneath Iron Man's armor. I would rather have that than being able to see fingerprints on people's clothes just because, or, you know, like smudge marks on clothes or high definition detail on a character. I'd rather have the gameplay and the frame rate would be good, because at the end of the day, I don't play a game for graphics. I play for the game, and if it's smooth enough for me to play consistently. So as long as the game moves smoothly, and as long as it plays good, like, give me a reason to enjoy this gameplay. As long as it meets those 2 criteria, I got no problem. The graphics will just be the icing on the cake, but that should not be the main selling point of your game. If your game just looks good, then that's not good enough. The game needs to play good, and it needs to play stably. Because your graphics don't matter if it's moving 1 frame per second because of all the extra that's going on.
You don't have to. That's the whole point.
But I also do like the fact that a lot of these stages that they're showing are like very vertical in some instances. Like, you gotta jump different places in order to get up somewhere if you're Hulk, or if you gotta fly up some places to get to different areas. So it'll be nice seeing how everyone gets around these big open areas.
You've given me no choice. The damage has already been done, Avengers.
So since this is a game where they're going to be adding characters to the game, a lot of people are hoping for Spider-Man, a lot of people are hoping for Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Vision. I've seen people's wish lists. But it also begs to question if after you beat MODOK, who we all know is going to be the end-all, be-all boss of the game, then could we possibly see the addition of them adding like new endgame villains, like raid bosses? Could we possibly see Thanos? Could we see Dr. Doom? Like, there's a lot to think about when it comes to this gameplay, so I'm just thinking overall.
Once an Avenger is a great example of a hero mission, a single-player campaign experience focusing on a specific playable character. Hero missions give us a chance to tell more of each hero's story and showcase the variety and depth of our hero designs.
Mission power 15,
Let's take a quick look at how
difficulty
Thor
normal.
plays. With the game's combat systems, players can string together combos of heavy and light attacks, or hold for signature attacks. Combat versatility is one of Thor's strengths, from making use of Mjolnir to pin enemies from a distance, or bringing the sky down on his foes. In addition to core combat moves, the God of Thunder has a wide variety of skills to unlock that give him access to classic moves. This is one of our favorites, manual targeting. We largely drew our influence from writer Jason Aaron's run on Mighty Thor comic.
So it's nice that you are able to see
quickly mark your enemies
like different abilities and everything. Hopefully, as they continue to release more gameplay and more info of the game, we'll get a better understanding of how everyone works. I just really hope that if this is a live service game where you have to be connected to the internet in order to play, that they prioritize making the game enjoyable rather than making the game profitable. I.e., don't try to muscle in, oh, hey, you can get this amount of credits and these exclusive skins if you buy this special character pack.
And support.
Stuff like that, because that doesn't last very long in the positive outlook of
the
people.
Assault Heroic charges the fastest, and in some cases, you can store multiple.
But he has the God
charges
Blast
strategically as a part of your combos. You can perform these after charging your.
So going back to what you said, CJ, it doesn't look like he has the Odin Force Blast, but he does have the God Blast,
which is an electroshock projectile move you might recognize.
because it popped up on the screen when it was showing it. That's one of his, I guess, one of his ultimates.
Each hero also has a unique support heroic that's designed to enhance co-op and team play. For example, Thor's support, Warrior's Fury, lets him channel the power of the gods to supercharge his Odin Force and grants a period of invulnerability for nearby team members. You can see this in action when Iron Man gets the buff as he flies through Thor's support. Ultimates take longer to charge, but they're definitely worth the wait. They have more screen clearing power, and some even have residual effects, like Thor's Bifrost Ultimate. Thor's Ultimate Heroic channels the power of the 9 realms, and his Bifrost.
So with him using the Bifrost skill, it looks like it causes him to be charged with lightning, a la that of Thor Ragnarok, where he's just charged with lightning and lightning is all around him. Apparently, that same ultimate also causes residual lightning strikes to happen all around you while you're moving around. Okay, hold on. Since the stream is over, now let's go ahead and start to analyze some of these special moves. Okay, so we're here. Let's actually analyze what we see. So here we have Hulk, level 15, power of 20. We don't know how high that can go. Melee rating, ranged rating, defense rating, heroic rating. So I'm guessing that melee is obviously attack. Ranged is how much damage you do with throwing objects or range moves. Defense rating, obviously, how much defense you have. And heroic rating, I want to say that that is linked to the damage of your ultimate, because it's called heroics as well. But with here, we have some moves from a Hulk. Hold on, let me dial it back just a little bit.
The Bifrost Bridge to do max.
Actually, you know what? Let's actually go back to what it was showing for Thor to see if we can see some other moves as well. Because I did see some moves.
Style, go with the hammer spin or Mjolnir's attack, and not you to from. This is one wide variety of.
All right, so let's see. I see a lot of things up here: objective, skill, gear, cosmetics, collection, social. So I wonder if social is going to be used in order to link up with your friends and whatnot. So here, in one of his moves, he has melee, ranged, intrinsic ability, intrinsic overcharge. Now, it doesn't go over every single skill that he has, but in range, we have impact, explosion, all required, range specialization. Hold the trigger to charge tornado throw and cause the hammer to spawn a series of lightning explosions on impact. Disables the ability to pin combatants. Requires the tornado throw skill. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Skills to unlock that give him.
Next one is manual targeting. Hold to manually target enemies while aiming. Tornado throw disables the ability to pin combatants. Okay, so some of these abilities you actually have to toggle rather than it being a passive. Because impact explosion, it keeps you from being able to pin people to walls if you throw Mjolnir into them. So manual targeting disables the ability to pin them, but you get the ability to actually aim where you want Mjolnir to go. So that's interesting. I wonder if this will be one of those rare games in which Hulk actually has a healing factor. If Hulk does not have the ability to self-heal himself, that is going to be another dropped ball by Marvel. Because they definitely dropped the ball in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, where they literally scaled and dumbed down a lot of characters. The only character that got like a passive regenerative ability was, I want to say, Deadpool. Wolverine has one as well, but I think you have to activate that on a skill. I don't know. It's been a while since I last played the game, but it was a significant loss to certain character abilities where people who should be able to heal themselves were not able to heal themselves for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know if it's because they went in the direction of, let's turn Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 into an arcade game. Because that's basically what it is. It's not like the dungeon crawler top-down 4-person game that it was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, where you could actually scale everyone's abilities and you could actually have special skills linked to them. They actually really dumbed it down and it turned it into an arcade game where it was more focused on, hey, link up powers and you do a whole bunch of damage, but at what cost? Did you do it? Yes, I gave everyone arcade-like style abilities where you always have to have 4 people at one time. You can't play the game solo like Hulk, solo with Hulk or Thor or any of the characters you want to and just solo the game. No, you have to have 4 people because that's the main takeaway from this game. You wanted to play by yourself? Too bad. I guess you gotta have all your characters killed and only let it be yourself. So I feel like there was a significant loss with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. As much as I enjoyed it, and as much as there is to enjoy about the game, they still fell off short of making it like the best Marvel Ultimate Alliance game due to how they treated certain characters. Going back to this though, I really hope that they give Hulk the ability to heal on his own. Let it be a passive, don't let it be a skill you have to activate because he does it automatically. He heals like literally instantly. So I really hope that they don't go the route of, forcing characters to be dumbed down for the sake of the game. I mean, we got Batman. They didn't dumb him down. They made him Batman, and you just got stronger from there. So superhero games just need to improve in general. Stay true to the characters. Don't do it just because they'll be OP. They're supposed to be OP. Just scale up the enemies to compensate. But I digress. I'm going off on another tangent here. So this is just some of the Thor skills. We don't see too many of them though.
Moves. This is one of our favorites.
Let me see if I can find Hulk again.
We largely drew our influence from Rider combat skills to tailor.
Alright, so here with Hulk, he has Gamma Hammer. Press whatever button that is to execute a heavy attack that can interrupt enemy attacks. Rapidly press either of those buttons, I can't make out the shape underneath them, to combo a pair of heavy attacks. The last hit of the combo is a heavy combo finisher that launches enemies into the air. Damage medium, impact medium, stun medium, reactions, knockdown, launch. Okay, so there's a lot. I want to say there's a lot of moves in here that could possibly synergize with others. You make some great points. I can only point out the truth. There's a lot, but story for another time. If I get back on that tangent again, I'll be here a very long time. But let's go through here. Gamma Hammer. So going back to what I was saying, there looks like there's going to be a lot of attacks and a lot of moves that are like set up that can be used as setups for big damage. Like moves that synergize well with one another to cause moves that do like kind of good damage on their own can do far greater damage when combined with other moves. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of experimenting with a lot of characters. So Hulk, unlike Thor, he has combat, heavy attack, grab attacks, and rage. Now, of course, they don't go over any of his combat or many of his grab moves or any of his rage moves. We only see a couple of things here in his heavy attack range. And all of these can be leveled up. All of these can be improved, each one individually. So I really want to see just how far we can bring these characters. And when you max them out, is there... Oh, wait, I forgot. Wait, this is primary. Oh, I'm just now noticing this. We're looking at all these attacks right now, all these moves that he has. It's in a tab just called primary. After that, we have one called specialty. After that, we have one called mastery in this image here. So I would really like to know what mastery is. Is it... I really hope that they take some cues from Marvel Heroes Omega. Rest in peace, such a great game. I really hope that they take some cues from Marvel Heroes Omega. When you max out your character, you get access to prestige skills that only unlock when you max out a character. So that way you can add on like small buffs to yourself. I'm late. What did I miss? You kind of missed the stream acting up a little bit early on, and I had to mess with the video feed and everything. It's just the stream is choppy, to say the least, D-Train, so you didn't miss too much. I'm just talking about and walking through some of these things that we've noticed during the stream here. It's a pretty good stream. Got to see some actual gameplay. What I think they should have done for the stream as a whole was actually show off the UI. Now, how much did I miss? Pretty much the whole thing. I'm just going back over it. Sorry, but I really feel like game companies, if they're showing off gameplay for their game, they really need to show off the UI and not just show like a blank screen of just the gameplay, just so we know what we're walking into and that it's not some pre-rendered gameplay or some doctored footage or anything. I really feel like it would be much more realistic if you show the actual UI of the game. I mean, if it's too much, if it's too much on the screen, we'll say so. We'll say if there's just too much going on the screen. But if it's not, then at least we know what to expect when we actually start playing the game. So the fact that we didn't see any of the UI, I guess they just wanted to show off the scope of the game. Nothing wrong with that. But would like to see the UI as well, and just what it's going to look like while we're playing. Is it going to be distracting when we're playing the game? Is there going to be a map in the screen? Are we going to see health bars? Are we going to see XP bars? Are we going to see button mapping icons off to the side to let us know that, hey, hold this trigger down, press that button, and it lights up? You know the games. They have these all the time. But it'd be nice if they could have just shown that a little bit. And up here, I'm noticing something as well. Currency. Now, the one that's in the top right corner of this, hold on, let me see if I can increase this. In the top right corner of this, the first symbol, I know that's the credits symbol, but I don't know what this other one is. Please, in the name of all that is right in the world, please don't let this be like premium currency that'll let us just outwardly buy gear or buy loot boxes or anything like that. It does not need to be that way. I really hope that, because I automatically get skeptical whenever I see like different types of currency sitting up here. But going back to Hulk, I'm sorry, getting sidetracked here. Yes, Gamma Hammer
Playstyle
and Hammerhead. Press whatever that button is while sprinting to quickly lunge forward into the air and come down hard, creating a shallow shockwave that extends out several meters, damaging anyone caught in its wake. So damage medium, impact medium, stun low, reaction knockdown. And okay, so that looks like the... Oh no, that's just a skill point needed. It appears... It looks like it can just be upgraded, constantly upgraded. I don't know what the limit is for these, but it has like cost. It costs 1 point, one skill point to upgrade this skill. So I feel like in later levels, the higher the skill is, it's going to require more skill points to do it. How we acquire these skill points, don't know. Leveling, mission objectives, completion of missions, special challenges, I feel. I don't know, login bonuses, if it turns out to be that type of live service game, but we'll have to see.
But you want them going to Chick-fil-A only because I'm eating something healthy.
Of course. Just my usual. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. And I love you too.
As your heroes earn experience, they gain access to
Love you too.
new skills.
All right. Now let's hear what he's saying about
skills
this.
to tailor your hero to your playstyle. As your heroes earn experience, they gain access to new skills. Skill points.
Oh, we got a new one right here. So that was, we have Gamma Hammer, we have Hammerhead, and now we have Tantrum, Power Attack Upgrade. After executing a power attack, rapidly press a button to combo 5 more radial attacks before unleashing a powerful ground smash. Guard, breaks block. It breaks a enemy's block, low damage, medium impact, medium stun, react, flyback, and it costs like 1 point to use.
Points allow you to unlock new moves, combos, and even new versions of attacks. As you build up your heroes, you begin to see how unlocking and mastering the separate core skills.
Okay, hold on.
As you build up your heroes, you begin to see.
Okay, so I'm looking at it to see if him putting a point into it causes it to improve its stats, but it doesn't. It just says that it's already acquired and it just shows the same thing. So maybe putting a point into it, they can't just be constantly leveled, but it's the hero itself that levels and increases the power of these. So I feel like when you get these skills, they don't get constantly upgraded, but it's the gear that you put on that allows you to upgrade the skills themselves. It's the gear that does it, which we'll get to.
And mastering the separate core skills offers a ton of depth and variety on its own for every hero. And that's before gear, perks, are...
Alright, so now we're on to gear. So we have gear loadout, melee gear, power boost available, Gamma Sector Nanites, 20 in gear power, 10 resolve, gear perks, Gamma Sector, light combo finishers deal gamma damage, emitting an aggressive burst of gamma radiation. Next boost is 21 power resource requirement. Oh, so you can, okay, so you can upgrade the gear itself. Resource requirements, and you have the little resources down at the bottom. Hold down to boost, and it has like a 5-star gear boost. So there's multiple pieces down here at the bottom. You can't see my mouse. Actually, you know what? What happened to the image? What happened? Okay, there we go. Alright. I was about to say, what happened to my thing? Alright, so hopefully you guys can see. So now I get to point out things even better. At least I hope you can see the cursor. Yes, there we go. Alright, so 5-star here. All the materials that are down here are pretty much materials I'm guessing we're going to encounter as we like defeat enemies and I guess get mission rewards and whatnot. So that'll be interesting to see just how that goes in the long run. Hopefully they don't go the way of Destiny, because even though Destiny is going the route that they want to go as far as the, you know, like New Light and Beyond Light and the new DLC that they're going to be doing later this year, I really hope that Marvel Avengers doesn't go the route of Destiny in requiring like you to have seasons passes in order to get like special armors and stuff, because they seem to do, Destiny seems to do a season every couple of months, and not everyone wants to shell out like $14 every single time just to get an armor piece that's going to be overshadowed by the next DLC's armor. So that's just my opinion. But overall, let's see how much they put into this.
And any kind of later...
Alright, so we got Iron Man, Adept Spark Repulsor, 9 Resilience. Now here's the thing, we see all these different things for resilience, but we don't see it actually listed out on as far as what they do. 20 in power, Adept Spark, 20.7% chance, weak point attacks grant a heroic charge burst for all heroics, it looks like. Hold on, let me see if I can actually increase the quality of this video so I can see what it says a little bit better.
Game progression.
Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's go back one.
That's before gear, perks, artifacts, and any kind of later...
Alright, okay. Yep, grant a heroic charge for all heroics. This is a 4-star, because it's purple. Which makes me wonder, why was the other one 5-star, and that was like green? Plasma repulsor. Standard repulsor attacks deal plasma damage. Okay, so another damage type. We got gamma, and we got plasma. Heavyweight breaker. 21.2% increased damage from power attacks. Next boost will give it make it go up to 21 in power, but equipping it will actually lower his range rating. So who knows what end game gear will look like legendary status gear, or if we can have multiple. Another thing I really hope they don't do from Destiny, let's have like a whole bunch of legendary and exotic gear on us all at once, instead of, oh, you can only have one exotic weapon on you at a time, or one exotic piece of gear on you at one time, because if you have more than one, then it makes complete sense. Because you're a guardian, you're supposed to be powerful, but for the sake of the game, we're going to limit your capabilities because that would be overpowered. Sorry, am I kind of pointing out stuff that doesn't make sense in the Destiny game? Why give us all this exotic gear, but we can only equip like one piece of exotic weapons and one piece of exotic armor, instead of just, you know, like a bunch at once? Do you realize how much fun that would be? All the power? Just scale up the enemies, making an all exotic expose. But, sorry. Something else that's going on. So more resources for this. I'm looking at all the gear pieces.
Game progression.
Alright, so we got another one here. Adept buff. Chance weak point attacks grant a damage buff. This is 5-star. Okay, so this is a higher tier of game pieces. PIM oscillator. Laser attacks now deal PIM damage. Okay, so now we got more PIM particles, because in this game you can actually, Iron Man can actually use attacks that can cause people to shrink. So we got PIM particles, we got gamma radiation, and we got plasma damage. So these are damage types that you can inflict. Can you imagine Hulk having gear pieces with PIM particles? You're punching people and they get smaller, and they take more damage when they're smaller. Hulk punching people until they shrink. I feel like that's a thing. Mighty Impulse. 55 increased stun damage from power attacks. Next boost in power. They obviously have enough to upgrade it. 10% in proficiency. Still don't know what any of these terms means. Proficiency, resilience, and all these other things that we don't know the full details to. But I feel like it'll probably be explained later. We just need more info. Like, I'm glad that they did this War Table stream and showed it to us. But we just need concrete info. Like, tell us, what does this mean? What does that mean? We need to know. Because if this game is supposed to be coming out in September, you got to make sure you build this hype up. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people were hoping, were like losing hype for this game. Because they weren't showing anything. And we weren't being told anything. Oh, we're going to show you something soon. And soon came up and we didn't get much more from that. So they really need to bring their A game when they're showing more gameplay on top of what we just had, in order for us to, you know, fully appreciate what we've seen so far. And actually, you know, be hype enough to see this.
Because it means...
Alright, so we got another one. An upgrade for Mjolnir. Just cover it in wrappings and everything. Proficient Protection Grip. Proficient Protection. 21.5% chance range power attacks grant a defense buff. Requires range power attack ability. So some of these buffs only work if you have the ability that is linked to them. Experimental PIM Particle Emitter. Pinned enemies take PIM damage, harnessing Asgardian tech to emit PIM particles. So, okay, here's another thing. Thor, using Mjolnir to smack people hard enough to the point where they shrink. That sounds like a cartoon. That sounds like a classic Looney Tunes cartoon character effect. Like, hit someone with a hammer and they start to shrink. Like that one Tom and Jerry cartoon where he tried to beat up on Jerry. Jerry drunk some experimental milk, and he turns into like this big buff version of himself. And at the end of the cartoon, Tom tried to get the same thing, but he ended up shrinking every time he got hit. This is pretty much the same thing. Hitting people until they get smaller and smaller. Mighty Boom, 25 increased critical hit chance for power attacks. And as you can see, resolve, resilience, proficiency, all these different things we still need to know the terms to.
Your Thor will play differently.
And Crashing Thunder, here's another one. And this one is in hammer skills. After being thrown, press whatever that button is while sprinting to recall the hammer in a leaping strike that launches enemies into the air.
Then my Thor and my Hulk will play different.
Aerial Gamma Crusher. While in midair, hold to slam both enemies together, dealing tremendous damage to held enemies and sending out a devastating damage shockwave. Okay, so Hulk has a whole section just dedicated to grab moves, which means that you can pick up people, and like it says here, as you can see,
it means your Thor will play differently than my Thor, and my Hulk will play different than yours.
Jumps up in the air, and you just smack
Another
people
way to customize
like
your heroes is
an
with
aerial
gear.
clap.
We've previously talked about the different rarities.
Oh, here we go.
And how perks will give you powerful modifiers for even more customization. Some perks apply special damage like plasma or gamma, or cause status effects like shrink, which will shrink enemies and reduce damage and defense. You can see Iron Man using gamma.
And there's clear references to the movies and to the comic books because that's the same exact move he used in Iron Man 2 against all those drones that Whiplash sent his way.
Gear in this shot.
But he's also talking about how gamma radiation can be applied to like your special attacks as well.
You can see Iron Man using gamma gear in this shot, and eagle-eyed fans probably noticed his laser sweep was green instead of red. Nope, that wasn't a bug. When you have gamma gear equipped, it grants a bonus damage modifier and changes the emissive color of your attack. And voila, green lasers. We know that if you look good, you'll play good. The Crystal team has really enjoyed creating all new outfits for these heroes and drawing from Marvel's 80-year history to bring so many classic outfits to the game. Each hero has dozens of outfits drawn from some of the most recognizable eras and story arcs. You can earn them over the course of the story campaign by completing missions and deciphering patterns.
Okay, so right here, single-use instructions for the creation of an unknown item. Decipher the pattern to fabricate a random outfit. So we can get patterns that will allow us to get actual costumes.
Course of the
And if you go right here, it shows Atmosphere, which is one of Iron Man's suits. So I guess his Atmosphere suit.
Story campaign by completing missions.
And right here, we have another suit called Void Eater. I kind of want to know what that one is.
And deciphering patterns.
And then we have another one called Star Child. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be trying to go after some of these outfits just to, you know, set themselves apart. I really, really need to know if you're going to be playing with 4 people, are you all restricted to one specific character? I mean, to be more specific, is the game going to restrict it so that you can't have like 4 Hulks just running around? Or 4 Iron Men, or 2 Kamala Khans and 2 Black Widows? Is it going to limit you to everyone being a different character? I kind of hope not, because I'd love to see a multitude of Hulks just running in everywhere. Sure, it would kind of limit the dynamic a little bit, but come on, 4 Hulks just rampaging? It'd be cool to see.
There's Iron Man's suit from the 2014 Original Sin storyline. Or Donald Blake, which is a nod to an alias of Thor's who first appeared in 1962's Journey into Mystery, issue 83. Or Tony's Stark Tech outfit that was inspired by the Bleeding Edge armor that first appeared in Invincible Iron Man number 25 in 2010. While there are a ton of outfits you'll earn just by playing, some will require completing iconic mission chains to earn each hero's iconic outfit. And some outfits will only be available in our online marketplace.
Some outfits will only be available in their online marketplace. Now, given the knowledge of what I know of microtransactions and how they try and get you. I can already see that suits and cosmetics, they're going to be beyond the price point of the actual transactions that you can buy. So like the credits that you can get in packs, yeah, I already see that they're going to be just a little bit higher than what you need, than what you actually have. Like, say you get a pack of like 100, and then it says bonus, you get an additional 100. Well, the suit itself could possibly be like 120. So I feel like, and a lot of games do this all the time, they always say like, hey, you can use credits to get this outfit, but the price point is going to require you to get at least maybe 1 or 2 packs in order to get this one outfit. I really hope they don't do this, but I'm not going to hold my breath because it's a recurring theme. And we got like custom emotes, legendary emotes, purple emotes, green and blue emotes.
You could even customize your attitude and let out your inner Hulk with the right emote. I don't think that's canon. Those are just some of the ways you'll be able to
And then you got nameplates, so when you're seeing other people play the game, you can have like these little images. Basically emblems like Destiny, where behind the person, you just, on the card of the person, you just see like these special images. But it's nice that they have like all these images are literally lifted from the comic books that they've been in. Black Widow number 53, a cosmetic appearance item that it displays a hero's identity and accomplishments. I feel like a lot of these, some of these might be like really super rare, and some of them might actually be on the marketplace as well, because this still fits the bill as cosmetics, as do the emotes as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put some of the top tier, legendary, hard to get type stuff on the marketplace, because you know, not everyone has the time to play the game, and, you know, save on time. We want to give people the ability to, you know, cut out the middleman. And, you know, if they're not able to play all these hours to get this special nameplate, they can just skip it, and for a measly $2.99 or $4.99, they can get not only this nameplate, but also a couple of extra credits to go with it as well. You know, because we think of the players. Sorry if I'm being skeptical, but I'm being skeptical. Anytime a game has a live service model and they say like, you can get this stuff in our marketplace, I'm immediately defensive. So, sorry if I'm striking a couple of nerves here and there, but I don't put it past anybody except CG Projekt Red to implement this sort of thing.
And spec out your.
And speaking of CG Projekt Red, I might as well be doing another live stream of when we're reacting to the whole Night City episode from Night City thing they're going to be doing. It says it's going to be about 25 minutes, but it's going to be new gameplay, and I really can't wait to see what they're going to be showing.
Heroes. Okay, I think it's time for another trailer. This one gives us a first look at how all that customization is especially fun when you play together. This is Co-op and War Zones.
Now, I think I've already showed this already. It was actually pretty stable showing these videos. We got to see all the gameplay for this and that, so I'm probably not going to go through this. I just wanted to give my consensus on this game as a whole. So, what is my take on all of this? It looks good. Now, we need to see more gameplay. More. Not just ones that was specifically made for the stream. Actual people actually playing, actually talking. And I don't mean people playing with like scripted, cringy writing dialogue. I mean actual people actually playing the game, giving their honest impressions. I want to see if the game will drop frame rates if a whole bunch is going on in one specific area. We need to see concrete stuff to just give us... I hope I don't sound like I'm being too overly critical with this game, but in order for this game to actually stand in the midst of other games that are going to be releasing around September, not only that, but we're also getting like another Marvel game later this year, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and not only that, we're getting Cyberpunk as well. Of all this, they need to make sure that whatever they're showing, it is going to be worth playing alongside these games. That's my take on it. If you're going to release a game, make sure it is going to be something that if people don't play it all the time, at least they'll play it along with these other titles. So that's just my only thing from the game. The gameplay, it looks alright. I'm not going to say it looks absolutely superb because I need to see some real people playing it. Not just developers playing it for the sake of a live stream, but I need to see people who want to play this game playing this game. I need to see people who get invited to play this, not just people who are, you know, paid to say like, hey, this is all right. You guys should be really pre-ordering this game, because I haven't pre-ordered it. I need to see more. I'm still not convinced. But they just need to show a little bit more. I know they say that we've been wanting more stuff since 8A, but now that we have this, I just need gameplay where people aren't talking and trying to tell us what's going on. I just want to see people playing. I need to see UI. I need to see how the level and progression system works. I need to see this marketplace. I say again, I need to see this marketplace and what they're doing with it, because a lot of eyebrows are going to be raised if it goes in the wrong direction. But there's not much more I can say concerning this gameplay as a whole. Cyberpunk needs some more news about it too. Well, yeah, CJ, they're having that whole live stream tomorrow showcasing more of Night City, so that's gonna be some new gameplay. Remember that gameplay we got like a year ago, and everyone's been using that as like a placeholder to say like, oh, well, you only got game. Here's the thing. And I tend to frequent game facts a lot, just to see if there's any new info or people's opinion of the game. A lot of people have the opinion that the gameplay that we saw from a year ago is, to some, it's still the same gameplay that we're going to have. Oh, the game looks bad. Why does it look so bad? People do realize that when they see videos on YouTube, it's not the pitch-perfect picture that you would actually get in real life, right? They do realize that. So not only that, but newer gameplay is coming up, and this is going to be gameplay coming from this year. This year! Which means that the gameplay we got in 2018, that's a whole extra year of spit and polish that they gave to the game. Not only that, but since the game has been pushed back to November, whatever we see tomorrow is gonna be nothing like, or possibly if the game looks fine tomorrow, it'll probably look even better when it comes out in November. Why am I saying this? Because CG Projekt Red is one of those few developers that actually likes to take their time. Sure, they may put up some release dates. I've seen people harping on them for that. Stop delaying the game. Stop giving us concrete dates. We just want the game right now. Well, if a rushed game, a delayed game is a good game, but a rushed game is horrible forever. I know you see that quote all the time, but I feel like the reason, it's not like they're delaying it because they don't know what they're doing. They absolutely know what they're doing. Like, I've said this multiple times during multiple videos and multiple streams. The game is already done. The game has gone gold. It's done. It's finished. They don't need to do anything else with it. What, as far as, you know, like adding to the game, they're just polishing it and making it look even better than when they finished. Which means that whatever we could have gotten in September, it's going to be even better in November. Now, mind you, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm not getting paid to say all this stuff about Cyberpunk or CG Projekt Red. All I know is quality when I see it. I'd rather have them spend all this time all the way up to November polishing the game to absolute perfection, letting Activision, Ubisoft, and EA show us gamers. Let me see if I can say that right. I'd rather they polish this game all the way to November instead of September and show these developers such as Activision, Ubisoft, and EA how it's done and how to keep a good favor of your fan base and of your player base, than them release it in September and then we get multiple patches afterwards because at least one or two things went wrong. I'd rather they go all the way to November and perfect it so that we barely get any patches because the game is that stable, than for them to release it in September and we get multiple 3 to 4 gig patches just to fix game-breaking bugs. That's just my opinion on it. But, yeah. I just hope that with Avengers coming out in September that they give that same amount of attention to detail as well. How long have I been going on for? I feel like I've been talking about this for quite some time. How long has it been? 90 minutes. Okay, let me go ahead and scale it back because I really need to get back to uploading some more of The Last of Us videos real quick. But overall, what did I think of this whole stream? It was pretty good. Nothing that says it, oh, I gotta have it on my list yet. So it's still on my watch list, but not on my add to my collection list. Not yet. We still need more. And we still got a couple of months before September pops up. So I'm really hoping that whatever they show us in between that time is enough to convince me. Otherwise, I'm just going to save my money and see what other people have to say. So that's just my opinion on it. So sorry, first of all, sorry everyone for, like carrying on for so long. But that's just been my overall opinion of the game as a whole. So, yeah, that's all I got. Hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. So have a fantastic day. Once again, as always, later, peoples.